International trainer, life coach, and author MK Mueller spent 10 years as a high school teacher and loved her job. But there came a time when she had to face her own issues. She found herself in a domestic violence shelter at the age of 34. Her newfound insights, combined with her passion for education, led to the creation of her 8 to Great Life Skills program for adults and curriculum for students. MK, also known as the Gratitude Guru, is the author of Taking Care of Me, The Habits of Happiness, released in Spanish and French, and her new book, 8 to Great, The Powerful Process for Positive Change. Today, her training programs motivate business leaders, educators, and healthcare professionals from around the world with the keys to happiness, health, and success. She even writes music to help empower her audiences, and one song was recently highlighted on the Dr. Phil show. But enough about her. Let's hear from her. Please welcome, and please give a hearty Optimist welcome to our presenter from Omaha, Nebraska, MK Mueller.
Bonjour, mes amis. Good morning, fellow Optimists. I joined Optimist yesterday.
I tell you again, be happy.
Don't worry,
No worries about what you do or say.
just be grateful.
Say thank you, Lord, for all God's many blessings and miracles abound upon your way.
Use your mind. Feel your mind. Sing it with me.
With
Here we go.
everything that's holy,
Feel your mind.
with
One more
everything
time.
that's true,
Feel your mind.
with everything that's beautiful, then beauty will be shown to you.
Feel your mind. Feel your mind. Feel your mind. Feel your mind. Give yourself a hand. That was lovely. All right. Wonderful. It is lovely to be here, and yes, I really did join the organization yesterday. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't join before. I am. And I'm going to tell you why I joined yesterday. Stay tuned. But why I started with that song that I wrote some time ago was because it's about what we're about. And that's right here. Because this is where hope happens, and this is where hope is lost. And the other reason that I started with that song is because of the gentleman you heard singing the lead. His name is Michael Lawson. I believe his story is your story. I believe his story is my story. And I know his story is the story of the young people that we serve. Michael Lawson joined my choir, and about a month later, he lost his job. When his car stopped working, of course, he lost his car. So he's now jobless, carless, directionless, because he was thinking at 18 of going to community college, but really wasn't sure. But most important, Optimists, most negative, he was whatless. Hopeless, thank you. So he called me and he said, Ms. Mueller, I'm sorry I can't make it to choir today. I'm just not probably going to ever be able to make choir again because this and this and this. And I said, oh, Michael, my car works all the way to your house. I'd love to come pick you up. He said, I don't think you know where I live. Michael was an African-American young man who lived in the heart of Omaha's inner city, about 300 pounds when I met him. And I said, you know, Michael, I am too strong for fear. I will be there to pick you up. So as we're driving along, I got to ask him a question. Now, this is a question I'm not hearing many optimists ask young people, and I'm going to invite you to change that today, because there is a most important question to ask our young people. To help every friend find something in them, yes? Let's just expand that to every youth, okay? To help every youth find something in them. And the question you are going to start asking your young people is, so tell me, Michael, what's your dream? Caught him off guard for a second, but finally he said, well, I want to be a professional singer. And I said, and you're singing in my little church choir in Omaha, Nebraska, and you're not even singing solos. Well, that's going to change today. I said, Michael, of course you are also going to American Idol in 2 weeks in Minneapolis. He said, no. And I said, and why would that be? He said, oh, I tried that last year. It just didn't work. I said, how old are you, sir? 18. Yes, 18's a good age to give up on your dreams. You're kidding me now. I said, Michael, what could possibly be stopping you from a $120 bus fare round trip to Minneapolis? He said, now where would I get that? You know why I called you this morning, because I don't have a job and I don't have a car. How would I possibly get there? And I said, well, certainly you know some people you could invite to lend you that $120 or even give it to you. He said, nobody I know. And I said, you know, I could pull over while you thought of somebody. He said, I've only known you for a month. I said, that is true. And what is the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is you could ask me, I could say no, and you would feel disappointed. Let me just check with our Optimist audience this morning. Is there anyone here who's ever been disappointed and survived? Could I see your hands, please? All right, would you give a high five to that person sitting next to you? All right. So the worst thing that could happen is that Michael Lawson will be disappointed. What is the best thing that could happen? $120, keep guessing. Who said it? Who said it? Stand up, please. All right. And what did he say? The best thing that could happen is he could win. Let's give him a hand. Thank you so much. So when you weigh those two odds, let's see, feel a little disappointed, win American Idol, it's not very balanced. And so finally he said, all right, well, would you give me $120? And I said, no. Now, this is another very important point with our children. Do we want to be their heroes, yes or no? We want them to find the hero within. I needed him to know that he could earn that $120. And so what I did was I was speaking at a restaurant the next evening in front of a whole bunch of investors, and I said, you stand in front of that restaurant and hand out flyers and say, I'll sing for you if you help me get to, yes? Well, people kind of walked a wide swath around Michael as they got out of that restaurant. Again, good thing there weren't any optimists there because we're too strong for fear. At any rate, he only got $25 that night, but my choir took up a little collection and he was just fine. So he went off to Minneapolis. Dear ones, there were 7,647 people in that Coliseum when he arrived. I got a phone call that morning at 5:30. Hi, Ms. Mueller, I'm sorry, I know even God isn't up at this hour, but I just needed you to tell me that stuff that you tell people. Michael, why are you there? Why are you there? To claim what's mine. I said, then go do it, dear one. I believe in you. And that's all kids are asking for today, you know, is one person, because I guarantee you there was no one in his family who didn't think he was crazy for going. But we have one person who believes in us, and we can be that person for so many young people. And surely enough, he went and auditioned. 7,647 folks. 16 of them went to Hollywood. Let's give a hand for Michael Lawson, who was among them. Woo! So what do we have so far? He got the picture of his dream. He took the risk to follow his dream. And then I have an 8-step program. It's called 8 to Great that I wrote long before I saw your creed. Excuse me, our creed. And yet truth is truth, isn't it? No matter who's listening, truth is still true. And so what happened was I got to teach him my 8 steps. And the last 3, you'll recognize these, are FGH, forgiveness of the past, gratitude for the present, and hope for the future. So when he got cut the 5th day in Hollywood, made it to the top 50 in the country, he got on the plane and he turned to the woman next to him in first class and said, if you can smell rejection, it might be me. And she said, I beg your pardon. And he said, I just got cut from American Idol. And she said, oh my goodness, it's Friday of holiday week. Well, you must be exceptional. My name is Nancy Schuster, and I'm a talent agent. This is how I met Ashton Kutcher. Before he got off the plane, because he stayed in F, G, and H, forgiveness, gratitude, and he had a $10,000 scholarship to go to an acting camp for 3 months, at the end of which he was taken to New York City to compete against all the rest of the talent all over the country. At the end of that incredible national competition, He won 7 awards, including Top Male Vocalist of 2007, Top Duo Vocals of 2007, and Top Entertainer of 2007. He's been in 6 films since then and is on 2 CDs, one of which is mine, One More Hand from Michael Lawson. Are you ready to learn the process that we can teach to any young people and start using ourselves? Yes or no? Are you ready? Get out your handouts, please. They have a pyramid on them, and I'm thanking my helpers back there so much for giving me all this good stuff to play with. Huh? All right, you know how I'm going to treat you today? I'm going to treat you like young adults. Some of you have never really gone past 16 anyway. We're good, aren't we? Yeah, here we go. Mike Allen's laughing. All right. Okay, here we go. So what do we got? We're going to call this the power pyramid. Students, is power a good thing to have, yes or no? Power is a good thing to have. In fact, we know that the worst feeling in the world is power what? Powerless or despair. So we're going to call this the power pyramid. And what we're going to say is, in fact, you guys complete these phrases with me if you would. Nice and loud, optimists. What goes around... If that was nice and loud, you need more coffee. Okay? Come on, you can do this. Birds of a feather. Thank you. Misery loves, but so does joy. And so you have a choice. You can be down here at 5 or up here at 95. What does that stand for? Down here, you're only 5% fuel efficient. Students, can you imagine driving a car that's only 5% fuel efficient? You're wasting a lot of what? Energy and gas. And I don't want you wasting your human energy anymore. So we're going to take you from 5% up to 95%. Now, how are we going to do that? Because down here, only 5% of your thoughts feel good. That's going to be your litmus test. Does your thought feel good? Then you are fuel efficient. Did anyone walk into this auditorium today with something they could, if they wanted to, worry about or complain about? Could I see those hands, please? Everyone in the room who has something they could, if they wanted to, worry about. I don't see those hands yet. Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. Thank you, if you wanted to. Now let's do one more question. Did anyone walk in here with something you could, if you wanted to, be grateful for? Could I see those hands, please? All right. So the question is not, is it out there? The question is what you are choosing to focus on. And we all have friends who, when it's raining, say, oh my gosh, did you see the weather? And when it's sunny, they say, oh my gosh, did you see the forecast? We all have friends that do that, yes? Dear ones, I'm challenging you. I'm going to tell you right now why I didn't join Optimist before yesterday. First of all, because everybody that asked me if I would join, I said, I can't make the lunches, and they said, oh, okay, and walked away. The second reason, you're not going to like this, but please remember, pain is required and suffering is optional. The second reason is I couldn't tell your meetings from any other meetings I spoke at. They were no different from Kiwanis. They were no different from Rotary. People came in and talked about the economy in the same way. Do you hear me, Optimist International? Now, what's going to happen when we really live that creed, and when people drop their pessimism at the door, and when we stop talking about serious problems and talk about serious opportunities? What is going to happen? We will be beating them away with a stick. I'm so sorry. There's no more room. You're going to have to start your own club. Here's my business card. All right? Now, I am serious. How can I say this? Because the young people I've been teaching this to, we are in 12 states with 8 to grade. Do you know what they say about my program? It should be required for high school graduation. Have you ever heard students say that about a course before? You have not. Students, young adults, are hungry for this. And does Optimist need more young adults, yes or no? Yes. Thank you. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to be different. We are going to be different. Definition of insanity, according to Einstein, doing what you've always done and expecting what? A different result. So I am calling on all of you who think of yourselves as young in this room. Do something different.